Welcome to another part of the ranking. I know you have seen this makeup look before. The tutorial will be up soon, so calm your tits please. But today we are going to rank all of my highlights, and as per usual we are starting with cream highlighters or liquid highlighters, and then in the second part we are doing the powder highlights. And I just changed my background lighting because I was more in a pink mood. So in fifth place of my cream highlighters are the Charlotte Tilbury highlight ones. I like them, they're nice. I prefer the Pillow Talk one over the, what's the name? The Spotlight one. But they're not so good that I would say like you need to have them. I get why they are viral, I get it why they're sold out, but they're better out there. They're good, I keep them, but they're only in the last place for me. Number 4, fairly new, and my love is growing on this, but currently I would say it's my like number 4. I mean, I have only 5 to rank, so it's not that much. But the FMGT Moisture Cushion Highlighter is beautiful. This is a very strange application method. So you have this little thing going on, this puff, and then you have, just with the blush that we talked about in the blush ranking, the cushion highlighter in here. It's icy, it's beautiful. The reason why this is so low is mainly because I haven't used it enough to say, oh, this is my favorite. The other ones I just used much longer, and I'm not a big fan of the application method, just as I am with the cushion blush. But if you have a tip how else to apply this, let me know. Number 3 are the Westman Atelier Lit Up Sticks. I do have 2 shades. One of them is the original shade Lit Up, and I don't think you can even tell, but this has a purple like shift going on. And let me just put it all the way down, so this is how much I use it. These are beautiful, but so freaking overpriced. Nonetheless, I bought a second shade this year. This is the shade Perla, and this is a limited edition shade. So I don't know if you can get it anymore, but they brought it back this year. This is a beautiful nude champagne glow highlight. Love that, love it. I love them so much that I can look past the price tag with these highlighters. That is how much I like them. But they're still not my favorite. My second place is actually ColourPop. The Super Shock highlighters. Oh my fucking god. This is the shade Flexitarian, and this is such an icy shade. Oh, I love it. I'm a highlightarian. And this is the shade Hedwig from the ColourPop and Harry Potter line, or like Back to Hogwarts line. This is a pastel lavender highlight with this like 4 colors in them. Chef's kiss. Absolutely stunning, but still not my favorite. But my favorite are these. These are the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Duo. Yes, Skin Fetish Duo highlighter. I do have the shades Nude, then we have Cyber Lotus, and Cyber Orchid. Cyber Orchid has a purple shift, this has a pink shift, and this is a true champagne. Let me show you this on the champagne, what exactly you get. On one side you have a highlighter balm, and this looks a bit like the Perla shade, doesn't it? But on the other side you have a clear balm, and you can apply them alone, just one side, but what I do is I layer them. I use the highlight shade first and then the balm side and then blend it in, and you're ending up with this beautiful reflective canvas of highlight. They are really good. They are very, very pricey. I think they're around 60 euro, but so when you girl math it down, it's only 30 per side, which is a nice price for Pat McGrath. Okay, let's now talk about the powder highlights. This is super messy in my drawer currently because I just bought so many new ones in the past, I don't know, 3 months. I really have to declutter them again, but maybe next year, not this year. Number 16, and this kind of breaks my heart. This is the RMS Redimension Hydra Luminizer in the shade Prosecco Fizz. I think this is a preference thing mainly. If you love a very sheer highlight, this is your friend. This is barely invisible on me. I am just not the type of girl to use it like that. Maybe I'm using the wrong brush. I have not used it with all my highlighter brushes, and yes, I have different ones because some highlighters require a more stiff brush, some love a more fluffy brush. I have to test it more, but so far, and the fact that I could not make this really work for me with the brushes that I tested it so far is making this my least favorite highlight. Which is followed by number 15. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Seeker highlight. The packaging is stunning, super luxe and heavy, but this highlighter does not show up. What is wrong in here? I got a comment on YouTube when I put on my first impression of this in a short video, and they were like, I should try a different brush because this is a baked gelée formulation. Yes, you're right, it is, but I do have other baked gelée formulations that I can use, for example, the best with the Rio Technique setting brushes, the small ones that everybody uses for highlighter. Even with that, nothing is happening. I just don't know. It does not look good the way it does on other people, but it does show up more than the RMS one. Therefore, I like this a bit better. Number 14, and this is mainly ranked so low because I have used it only twice or 3 times. These are the new Moira Cosmetics Dreamlight highlighters, and I have the shade Dreamlight. I have to say, I'm not the biggest fan of the shade because it shifts too golden for me. I wish I got a different shade. Maybe I will get more next year because the formulation is really nice and they are very, very intense. So for me, it's mainly a shade reason, and I haven't tested it enough to say, okay, this is better than all the other ones that we are going to talk about next. Number 13 are all the Haus Labs highlighter. And if you've seen the other parts of my ranking, the bronzer and the blushes ranked much higher. The blushes made it even to the number 1 of my favorites. But my problem is the formulation in here is so different to the blushes and the bronzer. It's ridiculous. They are dry. You can hear the of your brush when you swipe over this. But the shades are stunning. I do have the shade Sunstone, which is a beautiful whitish gold. Then I have the shade Pink Amethyst. I did even a reel or a short video with this because I was asked to show a face swatch of this beautiful wet looking but still kind of subtle highlight. And then I do have the shade Moonstone, which is a very, very intense white highlight. The shades stunning, the formulation a bit too dry for my liking. Number 12 are the Clé de Peau face luminizer or luminizing face enhancer. I have the shades 14 and 17. 14 is more of a, it's like a warmish highlight because it has some reds going on in here. And number 17 is your classic brightening pastel shade. These do have an overspray, so please, when you use them the first time, don't throw them away if they look weird. Scratch off the overspray and you will end up with a highlighter that is sophisticated and intense. You know, it's not like the RMS one that just has the tiniest touch of highlight. These are definitely more intense, but in a very soft, sophisticated way. I love them, but the reason why they're ranked kind of low for the rave that I just said, the price. Each of them is €100. Let that sink in for a second. Number 10, my only Pat McGrath highlighter. This is the Divine Glow highlight in the shade Lunar Allure. I have to be a bit careful because this one came shattered to my house. I pressed it back in, so far it's holding up nice. It looks like nothing has happened actually, which is quite nice, but it was a really messy one. This is really pretty. The Lunar Allure shade matches my skin. It looks really good, but this is borderline too intense. I have to use it with a very light hand, otherwise I have a stripe of highlight on my cheeks. If you like very intense highlighters, these are the ones to go. Number 9, barely talked about, the Too Faced Diamond highlighters. This is the shade Diamond Fire. I know they have another shade, I think, which is more red or warm, and this, very bulky packaging. This shifts from white to purple. I love this highlight. This is the softest duochrome highlight that I own in my collection. And if you want to get into more colorful highlight, I think this is a beautiful one to start. Number 9 are the Charlotte Tilbury Face Architect highlighters. Beautiful formulation. They do emphasize a bit of texture. And my main pet peeve with this is, I still haven't glued them in, but the packaging is so cheap. Charlotte Tilbury is charging us nearly €50 for each of this. I think 45 or something like that, or 48. and then you deliver us this? Unacceptable. I do have the shades Moonlit Glow, which is a beautiful white gold. And I also have the shades Champagne Glow, which is basically the same, but you see it's a bit shifting more into the champagne color. I, with my light skin, can wear both, and I really like the formulation. Number 8, we have the Dior Forever Cushion highlighter. I think cushion refers to the packaging because this is very squishy. And this is the shade 03 Pearlescent Glow. This is a beautiful, not as glittery highlighter as you might think. It is very glowy, but it's a bit more subtle than I like with this type of highlighters. There are tiny glitters in them, keep that in mind, but they're not like too harsh. To be honest, I don't think this is worth the full price. I got it with like 20% off or so, which is more of a reasonable price, but I like it a lot. And as you've seen, I just did not use it enough to say I like it more than the others, but I like it more than what we have already talked about. Number 6, another €100 highlighter. This is the Hermes Plein Air in the shade Rose Atacama. This is a very rose tinted highlighter. If you love that, this is yours. Beautiful, again, very rosy, very metallic. Like this is not what you can expect from a luxury brand. I think luxury brands usually are more toned down and subtle. This is punchy metallic. Number 5 are the Cezanne. I have no idea how to pronounce this brand. This is a I think a Japanese beauty brand or Chinese, something Asian makeup. I got it on YesStyle. These look like shit, like the packaging, super cheap, but the highlighters themselves are very, very pretty. They look like nothing in the pan, but they apply so wet and intense. I'm all over the moon. I don't know, I think I featured them in a like get ready with me video where I was not really happy with them, but I used them quite some time afterwards, also with different brushes, and now I love them. They're really good, and I think each of these is like €11 on YesStyle. It's very affordable. Shameless plug, you can save some money when you use my code Ellagram10, I think, for YesStyle to get these. But that's just very, very shameless here. Number 4, Tom Ford. I never tried Tom Ford highlighters. These are the first one, and these are from the Soleil Neige line from this year. It's like the winter collection, the limited edition as far as I know. And I did pick up both. This is number 1, Rose Irisée, and then we have number 2, Grand Paradis. I don't know if you can tell, but Grand Paradis is the shade that I wear today. Beautiful formulation. This is also baked highlighter formulation, or like baked powder thing. Baked gelée is the correct term. But they apply so much better than, for example, Anastasia Beverly Hills. I can use them with every brush that I own, and they will end up looking always the same. Not so many differences. Are they worth the high price tag? I think they retail for around €80. Unfortunately, yes. Unfortunately, I have to say these stole my heart the moment that I saw the promos, and these ate my heart the moment that I used them for the very first time. I skipped one. I skipped number 11. I'm so sorry. I have to just throw it in so that I don't have to start again. The Pillow Talk highlighter from Charlotte Tilbury is number 11. But now let's head over to number 3. And I think in my top 3, you can just see what kind of highlighters I personally prefer. I think I have I said this description 1,000 times now. Just imagine it's a day in the beginning of January. Christmas is over. The smell of like New Year's Eve, like fireworks is in the air. Snow. It's minus 15 degrees Celsius. Snow everywhere. The tops are frozen, but the sun is there. And the way the sun is hitting the snow, this kind of light reflecting sparkle, this is my preferred highlighter vibe. Therefore, number 3 in my top highlighters is the Unearthly Cosmetics Low Lighter in the shade Twilight. This is exactly this vibe. I have a comparison between this and the Fenty How Many Carats Diamond Bomb somewhere on my YouTube channel. If I think about it, I will link it somewhere here so you can see the difference. But I could also have only uploaded it on TikTok and Instagram. I will try to find it, otherwise head over to the other channels. Number 2 are the Fenty the Diamond Bombs How Many Carats is the shade that is probably the most popular one, that is always sold out. And I not only do have the small one, I have a big one as backup in case they are discontinuing this. In case they are discontinuing this. What the fuck? But I also have the shade Rose Rave, which has more of a pinkish undertone. It's a bit more warm, but it has a very similar vibe. It's not as intense as How Many Carats, so when it comes to the glitter on your cheeks, it's not as much. And number one, and I am so happy that I splurged this item. I am so happy that I did this. The Chanel Les Symbols highlighter. This is this year's limited edition highlighter, and this is the shade Pearly White. This is probably the best highlighter that fits my imagination of sun hitting the snow that I have ever seen. I love this highlighter so much that I even thought about getting a second one with another imprint. I still haven't decided, to be honest. I cannot tell you if these are still available or if Pearly White in general is a permanent shade, because I know that in this Les Symbols line there was one limited shade. If I can find that out, I will put it somewhere in the info box and tell you, because I barely say run and buy this. I barely say you need to have this in your life. But if this description of a highlighter that I just gave you is what you want, run. Buy this. Do it. Splurge. And there you have it, my ranking of highlighters. We do not have a lot of rankings left. We have face palettes, eyeliner, lip stuff. What else? I'm so organized, I have a list here. And eyeshadow palettes. Eyeshadow palettes will be the last one that I do, and this will be a two-part video because we are going to rank 150 palettes. Cannot put this all in one video, and I promise you they will go up before Christmas. I planned them, I think, the 21st and 22nd of December. So make sure you're subscribed so you can see how I rank 150 eyeshadow palettes, and also to see all the other fun videos that will come throughout Ellamas. And I hope you stay here. Click the subscribe button. Don't forget to check out the info box for the other links and shit. And I will see you tomorrow.